And in the inductive step, look here, it is important step. We show that the conditional statement P1 and P2 and up to Pk, this whole implies Pk plus 1 is true for all positive integer k. ओके, ध्यान से देखो, here in strong induction, to prove that Pn is true for any integer n, we will go with two steps. First step is basic step. Here we verify that P1 is true. This is for verification only. But in the inductive step, we assume that P1, P2 up to Pk is true. And from that, we implies that Pk plus 1 is true. तो इसको अगर याद है तो देख सकते हो, in normal induction, we assume for Pk and go for Pk plus 1. That means in normal induction, we only show that Pk implies Pk plus 1. But here, we are showing that P1 and P2 and Pk, this whole implies Pk plus 1. Now, with respect to this, we have one example. So that if n is an integer greater than 1, then n can be written as the product of primes. Okay. Now we will solve this question. Okay. Here we want to show that if n is an integer which is greater than 1, then that number can be written as the product of primes. Okay. So to prove that, look here, anyone please tell for our basic step and starting from which value? Which value you can take for basic step? देखो क्या बोला है, ग्रेटर देन 1
2 ले जाएंगे सर,
तो 2 से स्टार्ट होगा. तो for answer part, same thing, we define the propositional function Pn. Pn क्या लिखेंगे? n can be written as the product of primes n greater than 1. This is our propositional function. Now, to prove Pn is true, we will prove by which method? Prove by strong induction. We'll prove by strong induction. Now, for that one, first step is our basic step. Basic step here n equal to 2. As we know that 2 is a prime number, as we know that 2 is a prime number, P2 is true. Thus, basic step complete. Now, for second one, we have inductive step. Here, as we are applying the strong induction, so what we assume? We assume that this Pn is true for n equal to 2, 3, 4 up to k, and so that P2 and P3 and P4 and up to Pk, this whole implies Pk plus 1 is true. We want to show this. We want to show this line. So, as we assume that n is true for n equal to 2, 3, 4 up to k, this means अगर बोलोगे तो P3 is prime, or 3 can be written as a product of prime. Similarly, P4 के लिए 4 can be written as a product of primes, and similarly up to k, Pk. That means k can be written as a product of primes. This is our assumption. Now, using this concept, we will show that Pk plus 1 is true. Up to this clear? Everyone, please. थोड़ा क्लियर है, ठीक है? Now we want to show that k plus 1 is true. So, now consider the number k plus 1. Now, consider the number k plus 1. Now you can see that if k plus 1 is prime, then we have nothing to prove, because k plus 1 is itself prime, then it can be written as product of primes. Now, if k plus 1 is not prime, if k plus 1 is not prime, then what you can say? Anyone please tell what is the definition of prime or not prime? What is a prime number? Definition of prime, please.
A number which will be divisible only by 1 and itself.
That is prime. Not prime के लिए 1 and itself को छोड़ के और भी कुछ हो सकता है. If k plus 1 is not prime, then what can you say? Then this k plus 1 is कंपोजिट बोल सकते हो, नॉट प्राइम का मतलब कंपोजिट अलग वैसे, ओके। दैट मीन्स k plus 1 can be written as product of two numbers, product of two numbers. Suppose let a and b, where a and b are not equal to 1, कोई 1 नहीं है और k plus 1 भी नहीं है, 1 and itself, okay. So what we say, that means if k plus 1 is composite, then k plus 1 equal to a into b, we can write, where a is greater than 1, b is greater than 1, and you can see that it is, now you can see that not equal to k plus 1, so a is less than k plus 1 and b is also less than k plus 1. We are getting these four conditions from this line. Hope it's clear?
Yes,
no?
sir.
रिपीट कीजिए सर।
Huh?
सर रिपीट कीजिए सर।
Repeat the code. If k plus 1 is prime, if your number is prime, then कुछ प्रूव करना ही नहीं है क्योंकि it is a product of prime. Now, अगर प्राइम नहीं है तो ये कॉम्पोजिट है, दैट मीन्स दो नंबर का प्रोडक्ट करोगे तो ये नंबर मिलेगा, और ये दो नंबर कैसा होना चाहिए, 1 भी नहीं हो सकता एंड k plus 1 भी नहीं हो सकता, है ना। सपोज 10 को लिखोगे 2 into 5, सिमिलरली 15 5 into 3, okay. That means if number is composite, then that can be written as a product of two numbers a into b, where both numbers are greater than 1 and less than k plus 1. That means from this we can say that a lies between 1 to k plus 1 and b also lies between 1 to k plus 1. That is, a का value either that can be take 2 to k, or b also can take value 2 to k, okay. k plus 1 नहीं हो सकता but k हो सकता है. Now see the assumption. What we have assumed? We have assumed that p2, p3, p4 up to p के तक true है. Now as p2 and p3 and up to and pk is true by our assumption, so pa is true and pb is true. Why? Because a and b value lies between 2 to k. This implies a can be written as product of prime. That is, suppose a can be written as alpha 1, alpha 2 up to alpha r, where alpha I are primes. Similarly, b also can be written as product of primes. That is, b can be written as beta 1, beta 2 up to beta s, suppose, where beta I are primes. ये कहाँ से मिल रहा है? These are we are getting from our assumption. Now you can see a plus 1 equal to a into b. In place of a, you can write this much, that is alpha 1, alpha 2 up to alpha r into b, b equal to beta 1, beta 2 up to beta s. This shows that k plus 1 is also can be written as a product of times. Hence, what we got? We got that P2 and P3 and up to Pk implies Pk plus 1 is true. Thus, inductive step complete. Hence, last को लिखेंगे. Hence, by method of induction, method of strong induction, we can say that Pn is true for any, that is थ्योरम का जो स्टेटमेंट था. तथा स्टेटमेंट any positive integer greater than 1 can be written as a product of okay. This is one example related to strong induction. Okay. ठीक है, चलो और एक एग्जांपल. और एक एग्जांपल. Prove that any simple polygon with n sides where n greater than equal to 3 can be triangulated into n minus 2 triangles. Now, for answer part, what exactly it is saying? Suppose we have given a simple polygon with n sides, then if we want to break it in a triangle form, then it must have n minus 2 triangles. For example, suppose I am drawing a polygon having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. And how many triangle can we form? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides, 4 triangle. That means 6 minus 4 equal to 2. 6 minus 4, 6 minus 2 equal to 4. N minus 2 triangle. Okay. This is true for any polygon where n is greater than equal to 3. Now, to prove this, we define the prepositional function. Define the prepositional function. But en simple polygon with n sides as n minus 2 triangle. Here n greater than equal to 3. Now, to solve this using induction method, our first step is basic step. Now you can see that here it is saying that n is greater than equal to 3. So for basic step we have n equal to 3. Now n equal to 3 means a polygon having 3 sides. A polygon having 3 sides is a triangle. You can see one triangle. So number of triangle equal to number of sides minus 2. So E3 is verified. E3 true. E3 true is verified. So E3 is true is verified. Okay. पहले वेरीफाई हो गया n इक्वल टू 3 के लिए. Now inductive step. Second step is inductive step. Here we assume that P3, P4 up to Pk is true, and so that P3 and P4 and up to Pk implies Pk plus 1. Okay. Now we show that this much. Now what is the assumption? Assuming that three side polygon has one triangle, 4 side has 2 triangle, 5 side has 3 triangle, up to k side has k minus 2 triangle. Okay. Now consider a polygon. Suppose polygon का नाम दे देते हैं A. Consider a polygon A having A plus 1 sides. Okay. Suppose I am taking a polygon A having K plus 1 sides. Okay. Here we have K plus 1 side. Now you can see that by drawing an internal diagonal, now what I am doing? I am drawing an internal diagonal from one point to another point. I am joining it. Hello, please everyone.
यस सर.
अरे तुम लोग सीखना चाहते हो या नहीं? चाहोगे तो क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, मैं बताऊंगा. मैं बकबक कर रहा हूँ नहीं तो. लास्ट क्लास में बोला था ना आई एम नॉट हैप्पी बोल के, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. सेम थिंग, धीरे धीरे तुम्हारा इंटरेस्ट कम हो रहा है, मेरा भी कम होगा. समझने के लिए है तो बोलो. टोटल पॉलीगॉन था देखो, जिसका k प्लस 1 साइड था, उसको हम एक इंटरनल डायगोनल ड्रॉ कर दिए तो क्या होगा? पॉलीगॉन टूट गया. तो पॉलीगॉन हैज ब्रोकन इनटू 2 पार्ट्स. सपोज एक पार्ट को मैं बोलूंगा बी, अनदर पार्ट को बोलूंगा सी. ठीक है. और ये है इंटरनल डायगोनल को बोल रहा हूं मैं डी बोल के, कैपिटल डी. ओके. बाय ड्रॉइंग ए इंटरनल डायगोनल डी टू ए, ये क्या है, ये तुम्हारा टोटल पॉलीगॉन है। By drawing an internal diagonal D to A, we can obtain two simple polygons B and C. By drawing an internal diagonal D to A, we obtain two simple polygons B and C. Now, you can see that now we have drawn a internal diagonal. Now ठीक से देखो, now let A be the number of sides of A be the number, sorry, हाँ ठीक, A be the x लिखते हैं. Let x be the number of sides of B and y be the number of sides of, ठीक है, x हो गया क्या, number of sides of B and y हो गया number of sides of C. Now what can you say? Number of triangle in B will be how much? कोई बोलेगा how many triangle in B? ठीक है, मत बोलो, इसलिए तो बोल रहा हूँ, सीखने का मन नहीं है यार। B में अगर x साइड से, C में y साइड से, तो
x plus 1 by 2 minus 2.
x माइनस 2 यहाँ पे होगा एंड यहाँ पे नंबर ऑफ ट्राइंगल होगा y माइनस 2। नहीं हो रही, ऑलरेडी एजम्पशन बोल रहे हैं 2 2 के। सीखना नहीं है तो मत सीखो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ठीक है। नंबर ऑफ ट्राइंगल्स इन बी विल बी x माइनस 2 एंड नंबर ऑफ ट्राइंगल्स in C will be y minus 2. Why it is? Why? Because our assumption assume किए थे 2 to up to k तक होगा बोल के। Now again देखो, total number of triangle in A will be equal to number of triangle in B plus number of triangle in C. So that is equal to x minus 2 plus y minus 2, that is x plus y minus 4. Now you can see number of sides of A. Number of sides of A है total. Number of sides of A will be number of sides of B plus number of sides of C. के साथ क्या करें बोलो? Number of sides of B ये है सब, number of sides of C ये भी मिलेगा, बट A के अंदर ये नहीं है, that means ये 2 बार कट जाएगा, है ना। तो number of sides of A will be number of sides of B plus number of sides of C minus 2. क्यों? We are counting diagonal 2 times, एक बार B में एक बार C में। So number of sides of A equal to number of sides of B plus number of sides of C minus 2. 2 क्यों? योर डायगोनल जो बोल रहे थे, इंटरनल डायगोनल हैज काउंटेड ट्वाइस। नाउ हम क्या बोल रहे थे, नंबर ऑफ साइड्स ऑफ ए इक्वल टू के प्लस 1, पहले तो हमारा नंबर ऑफ साइड्स ऑफ बी बोल रहे हैं एक्स, लेट एक्स इज द नंबर ऑफ साइड्स ऑफ बी, सो नंबर ऑफ साइड्स ऑफ बी इक्वल टू एक्स, नंबर ऑफ साइड्स ऑफ सी इक्वल टू वाई minus 2. Now k plus 1 equal to x plus y minus 2. This is the number of sides and here number of triangle. Then you can see the relation. Hence, a number of triangle in A equal to क्या लिखे थे x plus y minus 4, x plus y minus 4, but that is equal to देखो x plus y minus 4 की जगह क्या लिख सकते हैं यहाँ से ऊपर देखो from here you are getting x plus y equal to k plus 1 plus 2, that is k plus 3. So क्या मिला? So in place of x plus y you can write k plus 3 minus 4, that is k minus 1. तो यहाँ पे देखो number of triangles in A equal to k minus 1 and number of sides is k plus 1. Okay, this shows that number of sides of A is k, sorry, number of sides of k, number of sides of k, sorry, A equal to k plus 1 and number of triangles of A equal to k minus 1. That means we have got the relation. Okay, this implies a polygon having k plus 1 sides has k minus 1 triangle. Thus, P2 and P3 and up to and Pk implies Pk plus 1 is 2. Hence, your inductive step complete. So by method of induction, strong induction, we can say that any simple polygon having n sides can be triangulated into n minus 2 triangles. ठीक है, ये एक एग्जाम्पल है तुम्हारा स्ट्रॉन्ग इंडक्शन का. ठीक है
सर.
हाँ सर बोलिए.
सर वहाँ पर जो लिखें सर, सर देन पी ऑफ 2 से लिखें सर.
सॉरी P3 P4 3 से स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं.